Through the rain in Glasgow,
climate crisis is about the survival of humanity as we know it.
And around the globe.
What do we want? Climate justice! When do we want it? Now!
Protesters have mobilized to demand more urgent and meaningful action to stave off climate disaster.
We want to send a message to world leaders and the people negotiating in Glasgow that we need real change now. We don't need promises, we need them to implement.
The eyes of the world are on Glasgow, Scotland, where the United Nations climate talks neared the end of its first week. A week that brought promises to toughen emissions targets and phase out the fossil fuels that are heating the planet. But those taking to the streets in London question whether there's genuine political will.
I believe it's mostly just empty words.
We're just fed up. We need the change to happen now.
In Brussels, activists from Extinction Rebellion blocked a main street to call attention to their cause and chanted phrases like,
"Climate change kills!"
In Melbourne, they had a symbolic funeral procession for a dead koala float that emitted plumes of smoke. Meantime, in Sydney, protesters were critical of the Australian government's refusal to sign the global pledge to slash methane emissions by about a third by 2030.
We are passionate about our children's future and ensuring that they have a safe future. And at the moment, our government is doing everything it can not to make that come to pass.
In South Korea, one of the biggest financiers of fossil fuels, a giant red Earth symbolizing the burning planet was rolled through the capital. Back in Glasgow, demonstrators say the climate clock won't stop ticking, with deadlines set decades away.
10 years, 20 years, we can do a lot of damage in 20 years. It needs to be now.
At a COP26 news conference, Uganda's Vanessa Nakati turned the attention of the room to the protests.
I think change is really on the streets. Change is what is happening outside, what young people are doing. With the organizing and mobilizing of the climate strikes.
One sign at a protest in Switzerland reading, "No more blah blah." Now the COP26 summit aims to raise enough commitments from world leaders to cap global warming at 1.5 degrees Celsius. The summit's president telling reporters today he understands protesters' frustrations. Caryn Ceolin, City News.